Hello, this is the first in a series of a couple of short videos that are looking at some kind of essential ideas in R. And this first one is about packages. Okay, so when we use R, we use things called functions. There's a whole other video about functions explaining what they are, but essentially they're things that we use to do stuff in R. And they have a standard format. So every function has a name, and then it's followed by brackets. And the stuff in brackets tells the function kind of what to do. So we're going to have a go at using a function and see what happens. And the function we're going to use is a function called random names. And we're using this because it's a very kind of simple function. It has one job, which is to generate a series of random names. And every function has inputs, so things you put in the brackets, and it will have an output, a thing it produces. So for random names, the input is just a number. So if you want 5 random names, the input is 5, and the name of the input is the letter N. So we can generate 5 random names by using the function random names, and then within the brackets telling it N equals 5. In other words, I want 5 random names. So let's give that a go in R. So here we have a quarto document, and I've set this up in Posit Cloud. We're going to insert a code chunk, which we can do with a slash like this, and then just hit return because the first option is to put in a code chunk. So we now have a code chunk. Let's try out this random names. So the name of the function is random names with a capital N. And then in the brackets afterwards, we want to tell it that we want 5 random names. So when we use a function, we do this. We type the name of the function, brackets, and then inside the brackets, we will set some options for the function. So let's have a look at what happens when we execute this function by clicking on this green sort of play button. Oh, we get an error. So what R is telling us here is it cannot find the function random names. So we're asking it to use a function. It's saying, I can't find it. I don't know what you're asking me to do. So why is R throwing an error message at us and saying it can't find random names? The reason is because although R comes with a lot of functions built in, there is out in the world lots of other functions that are not built into R, but that we can use. And these functions are sort of packaged together in, surprisingly, something called a package. So you've got R, it's got some functions, it's got some stuff it can do sort of out of the box, but around the world there will be R users, statisticians, computer scientists who will write functions for R and then distribute them so that other people can use them. So a sort of a collection of functions is known as a package, and anyone can install a package into R, and then that enables them to use the functions within that package. And the functions are stored, or sorry, the packages are stored in a repository known as CRAN. So basically what you do is you tell R to go away, find the package you want, and to install it. Now CRAN's not the only place you find functions. You can find them on GitHub, you can find them in other places, but CRAN is sort of the official place for them. So in the case of random names, we need to install the package that contains the function random names. So in terms of using R, one of the things you are sort of constantly doing is installing these packages, installing these little bundles of functions that allow you to do extra stuff. And once you've installed the package, it's stored on your computer and you can use it. But you will, if you do a major update of R, so they bring out a major update about once a year, if you do a major update of R, you will have to reinstall all the packages that you use again, which is not as onerous as it seems. So how do we install packages? Well, we use a function that is built into R called install.packages. And within that function, within quotes, we put the name of the package that we want to install. So this is something that you would not do in a quarto file, because if you do it in a quarto file, every time you render your quarto file, it will install the package, and you don't want to keep reinstalling the same package over and over again. So when we install packages, always do it at the command line, so in the console at the little prompt. So let's have a go at doing that. Okay, so back in our studio, The console pane is down the bottom here. It's all kind of hidden. I'm going to maximize it by clicking this button here. So now we can see what's going on. So in the console, we want to type install, and you can see RStudio is trying to guess what we might be going to type. So in fact, we can use this little list to highlight the thing that we actually want to type, and then just press return, and it will autocomplete it for us. Then we want some quotes, and the package we want to install is actually called random names. So the package has the same name as the function. So if we hit return, this will go off to CRAN, and it will try and find the package random names. When it finds it, it will stick a load of gubbins on your screen. And the key thing is, if you get a message here that says done with the name of the package, that means it has installed. So we now have the package random names installed on our machine. If we go to the packages tab, we can now see that the package random names appears in the list of packages on our system. So that means we can now use this package. Let's try running this piece of code again. Let's try using the random names function now that we've installed the package and see what happens. Oh, we get exactly the same error message. Well, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Because we've installed the package, we should be able to use this function now. Except the way that R works is once you've installed a package, it's on your computer, but it's not automatically loaded into R. So it's there to be used, but we have to tell R that we want to use it. There's sort of two ways we can do this, and it depends on the kind of coding style that you like to use. So there's what I call a concise coding style and an explicit coding style. So the concise coding style, basically what you do is you use the function called library to load all of the packages that you want. Normally, I think it's sort of good housekeeping to do this in a code chunk right at the top of your Quarto document. So let's have a go at doing that. So imagine if we add to our code chunk library, and then the name of the package. The name of the package we want to use is random names. Again, R tries to guess what we're going to do. So we can just select the thing from the list, the package from the list. So now our first line, that loads the package random name. So it gives us access to all the functions within that package. And therefore, when we try to use the random names function, R should be able to find it. So let's see if that's the case. Yes. So now the function works. We get a little message which we can ignore, but essentially it has generated us 5 random names. So this concise coding style is, a lot of people use this. It's possibly the most common. But there are 2 potential problems. One is that sometimes different packages have functions with the same names. So you can get clashes where, you think you're using, say, the select function from one package, but there's actually a select function in a different package, and R gets a bit confused. And it can be quite easy to end up loading packages that you don't actually use, because it's pretty common that, you'll use old Quarto documents as templates for new Quarto documents, so you can end up just loading stuff that you're not actually using, which may or may not bother you. So a different approach is to use an explicit code style. So this is where, rather than using library to load the package, whenever we use a function, we put the package name before it, like this. So we have the name of the package, then a couple of colons, and then the name of the function that we want to use. So this is known as an explicit style because we're referencing the function by the name of the package, then the function within the package. This avoids any problematic name clashes and stuff like that, but obviously it's longer to type. It makes your code less readable. There's lots more clutter in your text. And there are some packages, dplyr and ggplot2 in particular, that use lots of little helper functions, and putting dplyr before all of these helper functions gets really cumbersome and your code gets really, really messy. But let's have a look at what that looks like. So if we were going to use an explicit style, we wouldn't need to bother with library. We would just add the name of the package before the name of the function with a couple of colons. again, if we execute this code, it now works because we've specifically told R where the function random names comes from. Now, in terms of what you should do, should you use concise style or explicit style? Well, I actually use a mix in my textbook. I sort of recommend using a mix, but it's a completely personal choice. So I tend to use concise code for especially there's two umbrella packages that are used a lot throughout my book and throughout the tutorials on YouTube. And that's the Easy Stats package and the Tidyverse package. And these are actually collections of other packages. So nearly always I will load Easy Stats and Tidyverse using the library command at the top, because that automatically gives me access to loads and loads and loads of functions that I'm, commonly use for lots of the tasks that we do. But then if I'm using a sort of more esoteric thing where maybe I'm only using it once in my quarto document or whatever, then I tend to use the explicit code style and not load the library at the beginning. But entirely up to you. So in terms of how I set up a document, I would generally start by inserting a code chunk at the very top. I normally name this. You can name code chunks using this syntax. So I give it a label of setup, because this is the code chunk where I'm going to sort of, set up my document really. And I'll put in library easy stats, because pretty much use that all the time. And library tidyverse, because again, lots of useful packages and functions within tidyverse. So I'd start off like that, but then, I'd type some stuff or whatever. But when I come to actually if I want to sort of use an obscure package so I just want to, I want to generate some random names. This is not intrinsic to my document. I'm just sort of using this function once. Seems to me a bit pointless loading the whole package. So then I might use this sort of explicit style of putting random names and then the function random names. And I don't know, let's have 10 random names this time. So now we would execute this code chunk, loads all our sort of big libraries that we're going to use. But for smaller things, I'm not loading the entire library. But like I said, entirely up to you. A different approach to this is we put in our library for random names up here. And then when we come to use the random names function, we can get rid of it down here, and that will have the same effect. So we load our libraries, execute our code, and it still works. So entirely up to you, but that's the basics of packages and how to reference them.